Okay, we're live.
Hello, our only viewer.
Hello. Happy birthday, Nikki.
Happy birthday, Nikki.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
There was no way she'd be watching it so quickly after she got the ping announcement.
Well, we'll have to do it again then in a minute.
Every several minutes. And Bogard turns to you and he says, Happy birthday, Nikki.
Nick.
I'll speak it plainly. Happy birthday, Nikki.
Happy birthday. Fairer days and fairer nights, Nikki.
Birthday days and birthday night.
Well then, peeps. Go on then, Eileen. Do you want to defer it? Do you want me to just recap?
Well, might as well, for what it's worth. Our session has begun with Leticia having a very vivid dream of one sort or the other. Whatever strange things happen in there, she's mostly private to herself. Although what the team knows is that a mysterious stranger seems to have visited her in her sleep, which has us all very concerned.
Not
Leticia,
all,
are you
don't lie.
Are you certain? Are you certain that you're all right? Do we need to beat anybody up? The offer stands.
I'm alright.
After that, the entire team has woken up one after the other, which resulted in finding that resident cleric, aka guilty as charged, has spent the entire night digging through, well, catacombs and trying to put bodies back together, clean them up, etc., etc. And on our reuniting, English is hard. We have decided to return to. I keep wanting to call him Blackstaff. I don't know why.
The black stuff.
Blackfriar to discuss our arrangements. There we learned that both Zol, the little imp that was supposed to be helping him, has mysteriously disappeared by reasons which we, of course, are not involved in. And through some discussion and us being stupid, we managed to secure passage for ourselves, I think.
I mean, we still
That
seem to be
was-
quite on the fence with this one. I don't even know where we're at.
We were discussing about securing the passage for ourselves on the way for the Ten Trails. It was the name of the path, right? Towards
Yeah.
Ten Towns.
Yes, it is
Yep.
Central.
Well, we were hoping to find Cerebids and, well, see whatever that is going to take us.
Well, there was also a conversation with Cat, the bounty hunter, who is possibly our guide through the Ten Trails. And we have also liaised with Jerem. And it was very sad.
Yeah. So Jerem's trying to still
Abandon his family.
abandon his family and get to Brinshanda. Barovia. There was an incident with an imp with
His
Leticia.
name was Donk.
Dong the imp.
True.
Leticia angered
The dog.
Blackfriar someone. Because Leticia was looking for Dong.
Somewhere in the coach house.
I'm always looking for Donk.
Oh, he's looking for Dong in the coach house. Because he is seemingly gone missing. Yeah, so there we go. Bear with me 1 second. And we've finished with still not a definitive on what it is you wanted to do. You were given options you kind of know the costs
Yeah.
of stuff, and then you just kind of need to know what you want to do. Then it was about speaking to
At least
All
speaking
things-
to
Baroness
them.
and Jenna.
I do believe that we have not finished our conversation with Blackfriar due to
Yes.
Sir Gris and the player that plays him.
So that
The
depends
player
whether
that
you
plays
do,
me.
the player that plays Sir Gris.
Indeed.
It depends whether you want to continue that conversation or whether there is other things that need to be discussed and decided upon, and whether you want to discuss them away from Blackfriar. He is just happily sat here. No, I'm not happy. A little bit more annoyed than he was earlier. But just eating his breakfast. So we'll take it to there then. That's where we'll bring it to.
He did seem to not like us very much the moment that we name dropped Jarlaxle.
Well, no, I thought that he
Now-
seemed a bit like he seemed a bit startled by it, but then he seemed to be quite receptive to the idea of, okay, I'm not going to break my back for you, but I'm certainly not opposed to Joel Axel hearing that. I mean, my out of character assumption is someone with this sort of grift wants to be a bit of a mover and a shaker and would be smart enough, which he obviously is, to see, that's a fucking good idea to have Joel Axel know I've helped him.
Yeah, but it did feel like he felt out of depth when Jarl Axel's name was brought up.
That's
He,
fine.
he did outright
Yeah,
say
exactly.
he knew better than to mess around with Jarl
Mhm.
Axel's business. And then Sir Gris brought up about word could. Well, I think Sir Gris's initial thing was that we could. You could leave Blackfriar's name out of it, and then it was kind of, oh, no. Or we can let him know that you helped us. So,
Yeah.
I was trying to get a bit of a Jamie Lannister. This man cut off my hand, or this man saved my life.
Yeah.
Which do you want Tywin to hear?
Uh,
Oh. I'm sad now.
Why?
Thought about Game of Thrones. I
No,
don't want to play now.
Don't, man. So that's where we sit. So the four of you are sat at the table with Blackfriar. What do you want to do?
We three, I believe.
Yeah, I'm not at the table.
Oh no,
I'm
yeah,
like
you're
at the
in
door.
the doorway. Sure.
Yeah. Nobody likes me.
Yeah, but where's your character?
Got him. Got him. Okay. Okay. So what do you want to do, folks?
I will defer to the others at first, given that they were. Were they saying they wanted to go and speak with Jenna? If they do,
Jenna.
I would like to, if the opportunity presents itself, he isn't going anywhere, remain behind and speak to Blackfriar.
Shady. Okay. What's do others? Are others sticking around? What's happening, guys? Come on! We've only got like
So
a few hours left.
now that the tone of the tone of this discussion has changed, maybe let's try to establish something for sure. You mentioned that you can delay our quarry or remove their help altogether and turn their help back. And you can get us all through, is also what you said. If I remember correctly. And that would be... And I'll share a glance with Gris. 6 people, I believe, that we would have to take over the mountains at this point.
Fuck me, don't throw maths at me straight away. Fucking hell. I was expecting it'll just be us and Ket. I know Jerem has presented the option of coming with us. Gris personally, wouldn't like the idea of that. That is... risky. We haven't had that conversation yet. So I suppose in my mental calculation, I would be thinking of us plus Ket.
Yeah, I don't want him there too. Wait, I'm at the door. I'm not speaking.
No worries.
I mean, none of you are actually speaking to each other in character. Then that was just all some mind.
That was in
chat.
that was in his mind thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
If the mind trend continues, my mind is probably along the lines of, may they make up their minds.
Okay.
So Blackfriar.
Okay. Well, I suppose we do need to get to our quarry, and we need to maximize our chances. So we'll be taking 5 people then.
Very well.
Is
The
that
way I see it,
agreeable?
we can accommodate whatever you need. That isn't a problem. I would say that it all depends on where you wish to try and hold up your quarry. There are different options. I could get a message to the sleds that are coming to pick them up. As I said, either get them to not meet them at all, or they could try and hinder them for you.
Well,
There's an option of trying to contact the wagon that is taking them up to the spine. But there's little time left on that one. No doubt they will be approaching the spine today or tomorrow, perhaps.
the way I say it, we want to have the upper hand, and they do not suspect, presumably, anything is amiss. As of now, if we turn the sleds around and they won't find them at all, who knows what they'll do? They might just go sideways. They might try to turn back and avoid the city, and we might lose them altogether. So my thinking is it would be most advantageous for us if they kept on going forward, if hindered a bit, and maybe slowed down if the sled drivers can assure them that the weather is too harsh, or that the conditions have changed, or that they have to take a different route because the one that they usually take is blocked. And then we could catch up to them and find them still not too much on their guard. Does that sound reasonable? And I will look to my companions for any signs of approval or disapproval.
You're noticing that I am nodding.
I will nod.
How blessed.
We all look over to the door frame where Letitia is lurking.
As far as the tent,
I'm just I don't care. I'm like at this point I'm like so mad at Blackfriar because I'm focused on the little imp and I'm trying to think of new ways to to get to the imp. So
when it comes to the tent trail, it essentially passes straight through the span of the world. It is something of a long, extended valley that will take a number of days to traverse. For anybody that is reaching the spine, the only real ways are forward through it and on towards Ten Towns, or back the way you came here. If you are wishing for the drivers of your quarry to slow things up and perhaps rest and camp more than they require to delay things somewhat, you still have the issue of you having to catch them up because it will require sleds for you to continue traveling up the span. And those sleds will have to pass the ones that are then heading back towards Bryn Shander. Not necessarily overly suspicious, but it could raise potential questions.
Does present an issue.
There is obviously the option of not sending extra sleds to collect you, and you could try and catch them on foot. It would take some hard pushing, and the delays would have to be somewhat protracted.
Significant, yes. Well, we could take our chances if you say that the only way is forward. And going off the trail would be basically suicide. They won't have many options. In which case, I suppose turning away the sleds could give us time, and we would have them. We'd have them in the mountains.
This is an
Agreed.
option. You would, again, have to travel hard and fast to catch them up. They have 3 days on you already.
Well, yes, but you did say that they will have a lot of trouble trying to pass on foot towards Brinchanda.
Of course,
And
but
if they and if Mhm.
you would have an equal amount of trouble because you would not have a sled of your own, so you would also be on foot. You are
Right, because
staying
there's
3 days behind them, regardless. If we remove their sleds and yours and make things equal, then it is whoever can travel the hardest and the longest on foot, and whoever can push themselves. If you can push yourselves, then you may catch them up in the valley. But if you try to take it
Yes.
easy,
Well, earlier on, you did also present an option of the sled drivers trying to capture them on their own.
But if that fails, and Blackfriar's
Yes.
agents are killed, they still have access to sleds, and Blackfire
Yes.
is down several agents. That seems too risky for both us and for Blackfriar.
Yes. All options boil down then to our pushing through the snow and whether
can
we can
get-
outlast them.
and he kind of holds it down and says, I have a number of services at my disposal. Somebody needs to mute their Discord.
Indeed.
Not me, for once.
I can obviously arrange for drivers and travel folk that are capable of surviving out in the cold and the winters, and those that would make the journey as inhospitable as it is, with the high chance of success. If you are concerned about their capabilities, then that would depend on the capabilities of the people that you are chasing. You've said that one of them is a magic user. It would probably be more prudent to send someone on a sled other than a driver. I can hire additional people to meet them that are more particular in their skill set. But that would, of course, cost you considerably more money. He kind of like looks around the group.
Considerable.
If we want to catch them, I suppose that the opinion of Cat would be pretty important here. I'm not sure how confident he is in his skills regarding tracking and trying to follow a
Yeah.
group such as them. He seemed to be competent enough.
Indeed, I feel that this is a point where perhaps he should be brought into the conversation.
Would you welcome another voice in our discussions, Blackfriar?
Of course, gladly. Whatever it takes to make this decision making easier for yourselves.
And I will make to go and fetch Ket if I can find him.
He had was going shopping when you were going speaking to Jerem.
Ah, okay.
How was he? I thought, shit.
Well, okay, that's not an option right now then.
Let's
The
sit here
market
in
for?
silence until our friend returns.
I can
Alright,
go
well-
look for it.
Okay, like maybe just to not make it overly long. I
Yeah.
feel well. I feel like if we are to catch them, I think it would be cleaner if neither side would have sleds.
I would
As you-
hate it, but I agree.
So I suppose we can push ourselves more than Sribbits.
Very well. And he looks at one who
It's
mutters under her mask, about to say something.
I'm just mumbling to myself, but I agree.
the journey surely will be harsh, but we are not risking that they will disappear in the cities of 10 towns.
Very well.
It
So-
extends both our journey and theirs, thus making it easier for us to catch up to them, possibly.
Undoubtedly. If you are well equipped, well trained. But 3 days is. That's a lot to try and make up. And he kind of looks around the four of you. Like Letitia's kind of like just bobbing around in the doorway.
And I think you can offer us to help from this side.
Anything I can do to offer help?
Other than the considerable aid
Oh,
you have already
and-
granted us.
And possibly one more thing. If our quarry would make it to Brinshander was the first town, right?
Indeed. Provided
you-
they stay on the trail, there
would
is
you-
always the option of following the river to
To
the
evade.
Red Waters.
Well, would your people be able to possibly try and scout on them, follow, get some information on where they might be going?
I'm sure
Is it within the repertoire?
he smiles. I'm a man of many talents with many contacts. Sure, this is something that
Sounds promising.
we could arrange. Again, if. And he kind of pauses. If word of my assistance were to travel and fall upon ears of those that might find it interesting, of course. And he kind of smiles at Zagreus.
I will nod in understanding.
That can be arranged.
As far as I'm concerned, this will lead to the successful completion of our task. It is entirely by your accommodation and means that it has occurred, and we have merely been the agents.
Then it sounds like we have the start of a beautiful relationship, does it not?
It does.
Does indeed.
So, we do have certain obligations to fulfill within the walls of the city still. Some conversations to make. I believe you will have yours. So if you would consider whether it's possible for you to provide any additional assistance to us on this side of the mountains, and how to best utilize your resources on the other side to help us catch them, if they did indeed make it faster through the mountains than we are able to. and if we were unable to catch up to them before they managed to reach civilization, we would be much obliged.
And he thinks on things for a moment and says, there may be options. At least a way to expedite your travel somewhat towards the spine. At least try and close that gap that you have already.
Hmm.
He starts kind of like thinking,
Would that
Where-
cost additional to the?
Let the man finish a sentence for once, Gerelmos.
Do you say that?
No, I say that, so Chris does not.
the way I see it, it's likely that your that these people that you are tracking down, I would hazard a guess that they will probably reach the spine of the world by nightfall today. That puts you a good 3, potentially 4 days behind them. 3 if you travel today, I think. If they are waiting for their sleds and they do not come, then perhaps they will wait a day or 2 before they inevitably start traveling by foot looking for them. If we can make your journey somewhat faster, then there's a good chance that we could make it so that they are no more than a day away from you.
That sounds good enough.
But that will come at a price. My charity and willingness to help, it can only go so far. I am still a businessman. There are still
Obviously.
costs involved. He kind of thinks for a moment. I will have to make some inquiries of my own. You have your own business to attend.
Yes.
Go do what you need to do, and then this person, Ket, that you mentioned, the 5 of you come back to me and we'll see what the lay of the land is. If I've managed to put into action options. And then we can talk payment.
Sounds good.
Agreed. And how long are we to meet again?
A few hours, I believe.
Okay.
Very well. I feel that the things I was going to speak to him about have been addressed with that conversation, so I will no longer linger behind. So, Chris, a word.
Only if you would.
One
I
last
would
thing, if I may.
Of course.
Since the tone of our conversation has changed somewhat, and we are now to be partners, would you be willing to provide any additional information on the imp and what happened to it? Or is it a delicate subject better not broached?
His face answers that for you with an impassive. Just a stare.
It's a joke.
I attack.
You attack the DM?
Yes.
There is business. And then there is my business.
That's all fine and good. I merely asked because we could provide you some assistance if it's an issue. But if you wish to keep it to yourself, I see no problem with that.
If I need your help in such matters, I will approach you.
Agreeable. Well,
So nosy, mate.
I would suggest at some point heading over to the Wagoneer. They are the ones that will be taking you up to the spine. They have been dealing with any and all trade that we have been doing. The folks that are out here in the coach house, they have little reason to head up that way until the snow's clear.
We appreciate it, Blackfire. Thank you very much for cooperating with us as you are.
Well, my pleasure. Ask for Herner. He's the one that runs the Caravaneers Guild in town.
Oh,
What
I
little
didn't have my notes open. Herner.
Herner.
I would like to see the baby. Not Werner. Caravaneers Guild.
Mm.
Years. Right, I guess that we thank him and we are going to get ourselves organized.
Mm.
Yeah. And I assume that the armor has been already collected by him as a means of prepayment, sort of.
Don't know what it is you're after yet. If you're just after pausing and holding them up, then it is probably an overly expensive payment for just that.
Okay.
So once you've decided later what you want to do, then you can talk about what the cost is and how far you can stretch your favors without actually spending your favors.
We are the perfect
Okay,
group for this.
In that case, I will reach to Eileen mentally and ask, do you have any will to carry that blasted thing through the mountains?
Absolutely none whatsoever. Why do you think I was trying to set it up?
Well, maybe we can already offer it then and try to get as much as we can for it.
It is
Possibly
worth
add
a
it.
shot. It is worth a shot. Oh, are we saying hello, Thomas?
That's fine. He's sorted his job.
Well, in that case, let's not make anyone carry that thing twice. We have offered you the armor as payment before. Let it stay that way. Hopefully. Hopefully it might serve as a token of our gratitude and may it express that we do mean to make business with you and won't withdraw.
And he nods his head. That sounds most acceptable. It will help going towards my preparation.
Excellent. Well, let's be on our way then. We'll leave you to do the thing you need to do. They
Whatever
smile
it is you
slightly.
do.
And I smile slightly.
Oh, teeth. You should smile more often there.
That is a lot of teeth.
So, good people, where are you heading to first?
I would be up for conversations with the Baroness.
La Baroness, or?
Yeah, I think let's go see Baroness.
Cool.
Very good.
Because that might very well influence what we have to say to Jana.
Sure. Okay.
It would be a bit silly if we told Jana that, well, nothing's probably going to happen, and then we learn that they will send the army and they have it under control and it's all good. So yeah, let's see what we're standing on here.
Okay. You collectively leave the coach house. Blackfriar just watching you as you go, chewing his freshly cooked, self-cooked sausages. Another glance around, looking around the room, and stepping out into the coach house, out into the street, and you start making the hike through the snow up the hill towards the Motten Bailey, towards the wooden palisade of the Baron's manor, I guess it would be.
Discussion with nobilities, I mutter as we're approaching.
Yes.
I am never good at them. I always seem to use 50 words in order to say but free. Anybody has any sort of... Oh, what's the term? Experience way of talking with them?
Sir Chris did seem the most comfortable talking with the Baroness out of all of us.
I don't think she liked me much after what I said to her in the crypt.
Oh God, I forgot about that. Suddenly, everyone we meet. You're one stop away from dropping the N-bomb at someone sometimes.
Letitia, my darling, one day we'll teach you how to build bridges instead of burning them.
Don't worry, I have a plan. And I'm going to cast disguise person on myself to look like a slightly sexier and taller version of Grace.
Okay, are you taking that off?
Yes, please. I'm gonna do that.
Whereabouts
now.
are you casting it? On the approach up the hill?
Yes, when we're like close enough, but not at the doors, right? Just close enough.
Sure.
So I lose one spell slot at level. You know what? I'm not exactly a copy of Gris. I'm like, his older,
You look related.
sexier, gruffier brother. Yeah.
Brother? Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Related cousin maybe or something.
But still got Letitia's swagger.
My name is Sir Strig.
Okay. So, as if you take that off as you approach the gatehouse, the guards at the front, a little bit well dressed, better dressed than the town guards. Their padded tunics and their sauce bowl helmets, pike at hand, and they are on the ramparts. There's nobody in front of the walls. They're on the ramparts at the top. And called answer. What ho?
This one. We have been dealing with the Baroness on a great and urgent issue. It was we she came to visit upon at the church, cathedral? It's too small to be a cathedral, wasn't it? At the church last night? It's been so many weeks. No. We have an important update for her. If it's possible for you to inform her we are here, we're happy to wait outside until she, hopefully, permits to let us in.
You. Wait there. I'll send a runner. We know that you've been dealing with her. It's going to be too long, but obviously, need to make sure that she's not otherwise disposed.
Of course, of course. You're very reasonable, unlike one of your colleagues I encountered yesterday. I'm sorry about yesterday. You caught me on a bad day. I've got a lot going on at home.
To be perfectly fair, though, we're keeping me guard.
And so off a runner goes, and unless you've got anything you wish to say to the guard, he's just kind of like keeping an eye on you, watching out across the town.
I'm going to lower my voice slightly, just to fall to a more sub-conversational tone, and just to Leticia. Do you really think this parlor trick is wise? She will think our company has changed. She will not know who you are. And when you inevitably reveal yourself, or your words trip you up, it will seem like a suspicious and unnecessary deceit. I imagine the first question she will ask is, where is our companion?
I find your lack of trust unsettling, brother. Don't remember I was born before you, so I know more tricks than you.
I will be telling her when she arrives, because this seems an unnecessary risk.
I don't know what you're talking about, Chris. We've always been like this since we were small. Always imagining stuff and being unnecessarily menacing.
Well, if it might make things a bit easier for all of you, I can make myself sparse, and so it will seem that only the most presentable of us have come here.
The funniest thing is that you consider myself to be presentable.
I always do.
You're watching a strange romance unfurl between a Triton and 3 kobolds in a gas mask.
Okay.
So you're staying illusioned. Are you, Aggie?
Yes.
Do I
Okay.
get any?
Okay, yeah.
Do I get any answer?
Gris
Just ignore me.
Gris just looked frustrated. He's like, this was so simple. We had a strict an objective here, and now it's becoming convoluted and deceitful.
At this point, I'm laughing out loud, and I'm just saying, ever since we all became a group, since when has anything we've done been straightforward?
Yeah, I just feel I would be more of assistance in the conversation if I wasn't myself right now, because she knows who I am. She hates me.
Well, I think I'll leave you to it in that case. It might be easier for you to. It might be easier for you to explain why you don't have 2 of your non-human friends with you, and instead came in an, as I said, more presentable company.
I mean, I can stay at the door. I'm good at that now. I got some training.
There are other things to do if you wish to split the group.
I hear nothing to the contrary, so I will indeed start walking away. Are there guards visibly watching us at this point?
I will
like
follow them.
we're observed.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they're kind of like. There's just the one guy that was kind of like waiting for the message to come back.
Okay. Yeah, that's still fine. I will just tap the one who's the brother who is closer to me on the shoulder, and I will remove myself from the company. I will turn around and start walking back.
Do take care of yourself. I just mutter.
Take care, brother.
Okay, so Tyrelios and the artist formerly
Drake.
known as Leticia, you're both heading back down towards the town. Where do you guys wish to head to? You've got.
So you mentioned that the bounty hunter was going to make some errands. Is there like a market or something we can go try and look for him?
You don't know, but you could quite easily find
We can
out.
ask around.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to ask the first person that seems knowledgeable about the town if they can point me towards somewhere where I can get some quick errands.
Okay, no problem. Well, you're kind of like doing this big cutback, heading back down to essentially the town proper. And I'll say that literally the first person that in passing is clearly a townie, and they will guide you. They just kind of like point into the the heavy snow. Say, "Oh, just keep heading down that way. The road cuts around, and then you've got a couple of shops that'll probably help you out for those that are looking to go travelling." Is there anything particular that you're after?
Oh, nothing in particular. Thank you, my good sir. Have a nice day.
I'm a lady.
How dare
I'm
you!
so sorry. My
My
eyes are
family
not
built
what they
this
used to
town,
be.
by the way.
And she kind of like drops this because she had like a bit of a heavy hood on, and she kind of like drops it back to show that she's a woman. And even though she's removed her hood, it's still not that easy to tell that she's a woman. She just gives you this little scowl. Hope you get lost. And she just kind of like pulls her hood back up and like kind of barges past you a little bit, a little bruised shoulder, and kind of like heads back off into the snow. Making friends.
That's certainly not out of the question.
All the time.
We might yet get lost.
So it is literally just essentially the main road is basically a big ring around the town. As it's like got one main street. Then there's a few little cut-offs and little side streets here and there, but Hundlestone is not a big town. It is not that easy to get lost in its few streets. But like this main street, you can see that it's wide because obviously there's a lot of traffic that comes through here. So they have these wide streets so that wagons can get past each other enough. And you know the shops that you kind of come across, they're all there's not so much a marketplace, but there's just like the stores are pretty much all in the same area when you hit the curve at the top end of this street. And it seems a little bit busier here. It's still relatively early, but people are going about their day and starting to open up shops and kind of making sure the lamps outside are still intact and stuff.
Sir Knight, what would
Yes,
you
sir
like?
fish.
What would you like to do with your newly acquired flesh?
I always admired how the other half, Sir Gris, would like walk away all righteous and looking down at all the people like, oh, I know stuff that you don't know. So I just want to do that. I'm going to follow you and just try to act all, mighty and powerful. I do miss my lantern, though. I should have a lantern. Can we go look for a lantern? That would be fun.
I think lantern is an acceptable goal to achieve on our own. I do believe that you need to win it in a game of chance, though.
Why is that?
Let's look for that. Only those are magical.
Fair enough, if you say.
Okay, so you two head kind of like strolling along the street, and there's not that many people passing around. The people that you do see are of heavy furs, hoods up, and kind of like clutching their coats around them as they go from one place to the next. There's very few people standing around idly chatting. Every so often you kind of like pass through a shop, pass by a shop window, and you might see people inside having a chat, keeping in the warmth and stuff. So what are you looking for in particular? Or are you just trying to keep an eye out? Are you just trying to keep an eye out for Cat, or are you looking for a particular shop?
Looking for Cat would be good, but
Yes.
also I'm not sure how much. I'm not sure what Letitia thinks, but I'm actually looking for a game of chance for her.
Okay, we can do that.
Just to keep her occupied.
Keep out of trouble. I see.
You don't need to babysit me to realize.
Okay then.
I didn't want to. You came with me for some reason.
Well, cutting back, so the time it's taking you to kind of get down and then start heading towards the other side of the town, the runner has come back to Sir Gris and Eileen, and gates are opened, and you are escorted across the courtyard.
So this is going to be so surreal as we keep panning from whatever the fuck is happening over there to like the war-torn, grieving widow mother.
Yeah.
And the sort of company the widow is
Activate
having is
tonal shift.
So you are escorted by a single guard, who just keeps quiet, a stalwart professional, walking across the courtyard, thick with snow. It's been pretty heavy over the night. You can see where they've cleared away a few main walkways, whether intentionally or just as their patrol routes. And you are brought to the front of the manor house where the Baron and Baroness first came out when you first saw them. And as you get there, the doors, these big double oaken doors, kind of open up in front of you, and there is a well-dressed member of staff, kind of dressed in the similar colours of the guard, this deep green and yellow with these red trims. It's almost a little bit too colourful considering the dour nature of this town. But they look otherwise well dressed. They're kind of like a similar look to the guards, but obviously a civilian. And this person was asked, if you will please follow me. The Baroness will be with you shortly. And it's just this older gentleman, just a long face. His nose rides high on this kind of like quite dour mouth. Probably in his 50s or something like that. He has this upturned nose look, but he would never be able to avoid it. His nose just always kind of like, it's just very high and a little bit on the snooty side. And he leads you through these big stone hallways, laden with similar coloured trimmed carpet as the clothing that he's wearing, and you kind of get the impression that this is a really old building, but it's been quite modernly decorated. There's lots of tapestries and curtains, and like even walking past one of the guest snugs, it's like all cushions on thing. It just kind of like it has this new world meets old world feel about it. The same as the outside that looks like it's part of it's been newly renovated and partially built. And you are escorted into this quite large, warm guest area, I guess it would be. And there's a fire that's already burning. Stone floors with covered carpet, thick, heavy stone walls, and it's just very not overly lavish. It looks like trying to make the best of a quite stark situation, quite a stark environment, and it's been dressed up and made as nice as possible. But it's warm in here. It's got that going for it, and there's two couches facing each other with a table in the middle. But other than that, kind of like left to enter, and the serving butler or whatever his position is, kind of like steps to one side and just stands by the doorway. So the two of you are otherwise on your own for a moment.
I just let out. Finally out of the cold. And I'm
It's
going
not
to
so
thinking-
bad.
And I'm going to be careful not to let any snow pile on the carpets.
I mean, they're kind of used to it in this, there's kind of like, given the environment that it is, and it's always snowing, the carpets are, it's not carpeted, it's just like kind of like long carpet rugs and stuff that could be rolled up and cleaned off. But otherwise, it is just stone floor underneath. As much as they would like to kind of dress the area, they're also sensitive. But it's polite. And as you're kind of like trying to, I don't know, are you trying to like gather any of the bits of snow, or I don't know what's your plan?
I mean, they're melting. It's not like they're going to be able to be gathered.
Sure. Well, I would say like kind of like over near the fire, like it's like kind of starting to melt and slushing. I don't know. You're kind of like making more of a point to let it go onto the fireplace, opposed to all over
not
it.
making a mess of things.
Sure.
Dusting myself out.
Sure. The butler kind of like you kind of catch a little kind of like side eye, because obviously he's not supposed to necessarily just stare at guests, but he's kind of like watching you, and then he just kind of like looks away.
Oh, I say, turning back to Sir Grith. How are we going to begin to discuss this?
By being to the point. I imagine she will feel somewhat disappointed by our news. But I hope that the information we can provide, if they have a man-at-arms or a head guard that would be in charge of the delegation she was going to send, we can provide them with all of the information.
That is indeed true.
She may still be displeased with us, and that is valid, but we've come this far, and to find out that our own task is so time-limited and has such a small window, we cannot delay.
That is true as well. I do find it absolutely hilarious in a very strange way how you and Julielos have changed places and opinions so very suddenly. I do wonder if I'm awake. And I'm trying to be sure if I'm awake. Well, pain is here, so unfortunately I'm awake.
I think that Frostbeard must and should have been killed when we had the chance. But I'm not so single-minded on it that I would cast the entire mission aside.
Well, what's been has been. And I give you a shrug. I see what we can make of it, at the very least. Good sir over there. I say, trying to get the attention of Sir Butler, or
And he looks over to you, like his head turns slightly. Yes.
Do be so kind, my dear. But when is your mistress going to come?
I'm sure when she is ready.
Oh,
Word
this
has
is
been-
not me complaining about her. This is me more curious about yourself. Are you here paid to just keep us company?
Keep you company. Yes. And
Oh, that is absolutely excellent. Come closer.
I'm not paid for that. And it is quite rude to speak of money, and so we shall speak no more on the matter, I believe.
I'm just
And he
sort of...
opens his... Oh, go on.
No. I'll do mine after.
No, you. Okay. He goes to say something else, and then he kind of closes his mouth and looks front and center again, away from you. Can you both roll me a perception check, please? Eileen, as you were looking at the butler and you kind of like catch this glance that he kind of like suddenly snaps away, it draws your attention to the other side of the room where there is an open door, and just from a cast light off the fire or off a torch on the wall, you see a shadow move slightly. There's somebody kind of keeping out of sight behind the door.
Impossible to tell the shape.
Humanoid. It's a person. Somebody's just kind of like,
Lingering.
lingering. Yes.
I'm just kind of looking up at the tapestries, and as he made that sort of exchange with Eileen, without sort of breaking glance and looking around, I'd be like, "It is a fine old house of a noble family, Eileen. I imagine this is the politest way to have someone on hand to make sure that base thieves are not helping themselves to the silverware."
You can tell that I'm a bit distracted.
It's a
but
common
I
practice in Athkatla.
Fascinating. I was just meaning to point out that it doesn't need to stay that far from us. It's far warmer here. But regardless, we still need to figure out a way how to breach the subject. Are you up for telling her directly?
To be frank, I thought that was the plan. I'll take no pleasure in it, but yes, I got the sense that she was a woman who would appreciate direct and honest truth. But still, to be clear, we may be leaving here feeling like we have let somebody down. If that's the case, we should accept it gracefully. That's why I'm glad you are here with me.
You're one of the few people that actually have been telling me that.
And kind of like as the chatter kind of like drifts away from what you were initially discussing, Eileen, you see the shadow that is on the wall disappear. It like kind of steps off away into whichever room. Whoever was there lingering has now left. And a few moments later, Lady Rancy, the Baroness, enters the room. You see that she is dressed in a very deep blue velvet dress. Very simple, very unadorned. Long matching gloves. And she has a headpiece on that has a slight veil to it. And the vibe, other than it not being black, would otherwise look like somebody in morning dress.
But it's evening.
And as she steps in, she closes the door behind her, and she gives a nod to the butler, who gives a long nod back and then backs his way out of the room and closes the door behind him. Thank you for coming so quickly. It was a surprise, but I'm glad to have you here. Please, take a seat.
And I will, but I won't obviously sink in comfy. I will sit forward, sort of both feet flat on the floor, still on the sort of edge of the seat. After giving I would have also given a nod that was of equal deference as the butler's, unless like he was fucking prostrating himself.
Sure.
Oh, that music is getting very. That's better.
It went very loud.
It did, yeah. We came quickly because you may not, I fear, appreciate the news, but still I felt it was best to be forthright and to grant as much assistance as we are able. Our own mission that was originally bringing us north when we decided to address the bounty or the call, for lack of a better word, for investigating your son's disappearance has now revealed to have a extremely time-limited window in which, if we do not act today or tomorrow, could be lost to us entirely and render our entire voyage north moot and wasted. I know that you are summoning delegates and contingents from surrounding towns, so I wanted to take the opportunity first to apologize to you that we'll have to be moving on, and secondly, if you have a man-at-arms or someone in charge of your forces who would be going along on this venture, to pass over any and all information I can regarding the lay of the land, the forces, and all the information we have that will aid them. I appreciate this will not be news that you'll be happy about.
And her face is very impassive while you're talking. She's just kind of clearly taking it all in. I understand and appreciate the situation that you have found yourself. Rest assured, the ails and troubles of my family and Hundlestone and those others that are suffering under the heel of this creature. We understand that it is not your plight, but we would appreciate all the aid that you are able and willing to give us. We will still muster those forces that we can now that we are aware of the situation. It is more than simply a Hundlestone issue. I was hoping that you would be able to speak with any of the delegates that came forth. I hoped that you would be able to put weight to the severity of what has transpired and what you believe to be the bigger issue at large. I presume that is not the case. You will not be able to stay and meet with those delegates that are to be summoned.
At the very least, we can leave you written testaments.
Well, if the DM will allow it, I would like to procure a letter for her with all the information in my own words, which I will write and send to you throughout the week, DM, and say that I penned before bed last night. I did mention I was going to do one.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if you're happy with that.
Yeah, it's fine by me.
Yeah. I have written all of that information in my own word here, and I will procure a letter to her. But if you have your own marshal of forces here, I am happy to speak to any and all and impress, again, the severity and the detail of what they'll be encountering. And I will... I don't know, would I offer the letter to her, or I'll put it on a table next to her, sort of thing? I'll just offer it out and see if she goes to take it, if she, like, looks at a table or something. The butler just appears.
Snatches it off you.
You can't just offer a letter to the baronet.
She can see your hesitation with it, and she just smiles slightly and reaches out and takes it from you. and kind of places it on her lap and places her hands on top. Thank you. Clearly, you care enough to make sure that we are as well informed as can be. I'm sure that the information will be most valuable. Unfortunately, not the same as coming from you yourself. But still, we will work with what we have, as has been our way. I think first and foremost, the Baron will want to read this letter. It'll hopefully put more meaning and severity to what has transpired.
Sorry, the timing of you saying that, just as I posted the letter in Frost chat, tickled me. The Baron will want to see this.
What have you put?
You guys are full-grown men with kids. This is what you do on a Thursday night.
Yes, I'm aware of the weapon that he has.
Mm-hmm.
Where does your business take you next?
At the very least, up until Branch Under.
Well, if at any point you do return, please visit upon us again. And she's got a very hard to read face, very composed, very keeping things back. And she stands up with the letter in hand. I shall send for Captain Daverin. He will be the one that will be leading our forces.
Would you like me to entrust him with Helen's axe so it can take the vengeance I hoped to take in his name?
I'm presuming that the axe is hung on your belt or...
Yeah, but I don't want to like draw it in front of him.
Sure.
So the group have sold my armor and have reminded the DM in chat that we have marvelous.
Hey, you didn't want to bring the armor yourself.
I believe your words to be true, that you would have helped us if you had something that was less pressing and time sensitive. And so I believe you to be a good and honest man. And so I can only assume that the work that takes you away from us is good and honest. I dare say you will find some use for that axe. And we are in your debt. There was a reward for the return of my son, one that we were unable to pay. Hopefully, the axe will suffice, and hopefully it will pay for itself in time.
I will bow deeply. DM, how much do these axes sell for?
Depends who you're selling them to. If you're selling them to
Yeah, of course.
Blackfire,
Yeah, of
not that
course.
much.
Jesus, no.
I shall speak with Captain Deverin. I will have him meet with you before you leave. Thank you, both of you. All of you.
Stand and bow.
I take a page out of Sir Gris's decorum and bow back.
And she tips her head slightly and turns on heel, glides back towards the door where she came from. And as she kind of like approaches it, the door opens on the other side. She heads out. I am, unless there's anything major you wish to say to Captain Devrin, I'm going to expedite that and say that you meet with him and give him, I guess, just reiterating the same information. Unless he's somebody that you really want to speak to, I'm also very conscious of it'd be nice to leave fucking Condlestone at some point.
I actually have a number of questions. Fine.
If you do have
what
any
is he?
questions,
Is he human male? What's he look like? Give us some art.
I don't have any art. That's why you're not meeting him.
He looks.
He looks like Sribbit's perfume. He's a dead ringer.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Cool. Then cutting to whatever the hell these two are up to.
Do we want to belabor this point? Because I would be perfectly fine with just skipping to us meeting back again and going to Jenna.
The dangerous
agree.
thing is, if you were seeking out a card game with Letitia in a tavern, you just know she'd try to steal or count cards or
Yeah.
something,
No,
and then you'd be
What?
coming back by yourself because she'd have been shanked in an alleyway.
I don't steal.
You can't do this.
I
I
won't.
am Sir Grizz.
Okay, I'm gonna let everybody otherwise narrate what they want to happen. I'm gonna let you guys narrate your way to where you wish to be at. If you wish to speak to
Okay.
Jenna, speak to her. If you if you want to say that we meet Ket and then we'll kind of say, oh, we need to speak to you, then Ket can be with the group. If there's nothing you wish to do in any of the shops, that's fine. Let's just, I'm fine speeding past.
So as I
Sure.
hold
Cool.
at last and I take the Nevery orb in my hand, I look down at the blood of my companion.
Mhm.
And the
We
sky
fooled them,
dropped,
Leticia.
and it
We
was
fooled them all.
and it was Sir Gris. Well, it's actually Letitia disguised as Sir Gris. Sir Gris was killed back in Hundlestone. Right.
That's
Yeah,
me.
I would definitely
Is
like
there
us
any-
to have Ket once he has concluded his shopping.
Okay. I'd say while you guys are out and about in preparation for... You've kind of like discussed the options with him, but we'll kind of like come to that, if anybody wants to ask any additional questions. So he will get you guys equipped with, but you guys are going to have to pay for it. I would say, unless you aren't bothered, but for heading into the north, he would recommend, because you're asking him about gear and stuff, you want tents, you want rations, which I believe you've already got. He would say, now that you've mentioned about not traveling by sled, he would recommend snowshoes, and he would recommend goggles for being out in the snow if you mechanically don't wish to get screwed by perception disadvantage checks.
I will say yes to absolutely everything.
I mean, you've already got goggles in your mask,
Sounds
anyway, so
good.
you're pretty cool.
Sounds good.
Okay, I will
I will
work
take
out a
that.
little mini shopping list at the end of the session, and
Sure.
we'll deduct some coinage.
That's fine.
So you all meet back. I'm presuming you're not bothered about going to the Caravaneer, the Wagoneers, as of yet. I mean, you're going to be going there at some point anyway, so if you don't wish to go there beforehand, you don't have to.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Do you wish to go and speak to Jenna in character, or do you want to bypass it?
I think Jenna's is one that, if anything should be done in character, I feel like it's the Jenna one because that's someone we've known. She's going to be pissed off with whichever one of them has to have that conversation. I did this talk, I won't do the other talk.
Well, they were finding Ket, so they've given Ket the lowdown of what's happened. They've done a bit of shopping, and Yes, it depends whether I would say that Turles and Letitia probably do get back to the coach house with Ket, who will head. He'll piss off to his horse until you guys need to go and speak to Blackfriar. He will float around. So it's whether you guys want to go and speak to Jenna without the other two here, or they are still doing whatever they're doing, dealing with Captain Daverin. So the Trelios and Letitia wish to speak to Jenna alone.
I did say that I would rather know what we're standing on in regards to the army and to the Baroness
Okay.
before speaking to Jenna, so I would wait.
Okay,
Sure.
yeah. So yeah, we
Hold
give
on
them,
until we
that
have-
info. Yeah, I would relate to them what occurred with.
Mhm. Yeah, so
Baroness.
the expedition is happening. Everything is on track. It's just that we won't be there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's as good as we could have hoped for.
We're not going. It's all cancelled then. We're just gonna forget about it.
I'll turn this caravan around.
Okay, so you all meet up. Trelios and
Mhm.
Letitia are lingering, waiting around, trying not to travel too far down past the wagons because they'll have to walk past Jerem. Nobody needs to deal with that.
Mhm.
And then you see Sigris and Eileen approaching. Collectively, you walk down the lines of wagons. You kind of get a glimpse of Jerem, but see that he's otherwise occupied speaking to somebody you don't know. So unless you wish to go over and speak to him, or just
That's really
head down and let's deal with somebody else first. You get to Jenna, who is sat in the back of her wagon. Over a smoke.
ink. Yeah.
Those things are still going to kill you one of these days, but at least you'll die happy.
And she looks up from the wagon. She was just idling daydreams. Huh. No doubt, but something's got to get you, hasn't it?
It does.
Unfortunately true.
But it won't be us.
So
Just need to be right back. I'll let someone else take the lead.
convenient. How goes it? How goes it for the four of you? You feel like you've done everything you need to.
Well, that and more. We have learned new things. And the situation changes again, I'm afraid.
As it always does. But not all news are bad. Are you ready for both of them? We have some good news and we have some bad news.
I always find it better to lead with the good.
Well, good news it is then. The good news is that we managed to convince the Baroness to help us with the events leading up to Frostbeard. So, you and Jonapi are not going to be alone in this anymore.
She kind of looks between you all. But you're not coming back, are you?
That is where the bad news come from. Unfortunately for all of us, we have learned that, you know who.
Well, I think we can speak the name.
Voldemort.
No.
And she nods. I felt like you were overpromising quite a bit. Especially when I knew whose business you were on. Not somebody that you necessarily keep waiting. But
Yes, that is a part of it. But
I guess-
we didn't know how close we were to the quarry. Now we do, and we have a chance to catch up. That's not something we can put by.
Of course. Of course, of course. Look, I fully understand. You know, the way I see it is you wanted to help, not just me, but Gillespie as well. And I guess a lot of other folks. And you have done. Maybe not by, you know, delivering the final killing blow, but you made sure that it was going to get dealt with. You know, most folk wouldn't. Most folk would have just carried on going. Most folk wouldn't have even stopped to help in the first place. So don't worry about it. You've done everything you can, but your path just takes you in a different direction is all. And she gives you a, you know, an honest smile.
Oh, Jenna, how do you always know what to say?
And where will you be going now?
Well, I'll be heading back that way,
Hmm.
and if there's folks that are being mobilized, seems like they'll need a lot of things carrying, so probably going to be worth me just sticking around for a little while longer anyway, if they're heading that direction. Now, guess I'll wait with Gillespie for a few days and then head back to Luskin. That was my job.
Would it be in any way worthwhile or possible to gather any additional forces from Laskan? Organize something? Knowing what we now know, would it help in any way?
It's just going to be another Wagoneer's Tales, you know, stuff that comes off the road and coming from people like me. There's no one going to listen. Needed people like you to get this happening. And you've done it. Something's going to happen. Thanks for that.
Well, I can only hope that it will be enough. I'm not sure what lays ahead of us. I am wary of our own business in the mountains.
So that's where you're heading. You're heading into the Dale still.
Yes, that would be what's calling us. It's calling me. At least.
I don't envy you. I've been speaking to a few of the folks around here. There's a few that have tried to get up that way. Had to
Someone's
turn back.
white noising hard.
Who's hot micing?
It's not hot micing, I think. It's just
Static, but I have no idea
Yeah.
where it's coming from.
Harrison lights up a bit.
Oh, is it me? I don't hear
No.
any static. Hang on, I'm gonna.
Wasn't you.
Okay.
It's gone now.
Okay. Yeah, it's gone. Good.
There's a few people that have tried their luck, tried to go against what Blackfriar said, but seems he's telling the truth. It's almost impossible to get through the spine. On wagon, at least. Good luck to
Unfortunate.
you all.
We're not traveling by wagon anymore, I suppose. I dare say, unfortunately.
Just be careful. It's a long journey, the 10 trail, even when the weather's kind. Under normal circumstances, there's no way I'd go out in weather like this. But if it seems like you don't have much of a choice.
That we know. Thinking beside of you. Do take care of yourself and Gillespie as much as you can.
She nods. And yourselves, don't forget, you still got a bunch of rations in here. Don't leave them behind. You're gonna need them.
I'm quite sure that we will. And don't you forget this. And I'm gonna give Jenna a bit of my own stash of, well, tobacco.
Nice. You posh tobacco.
Yes.
She
Made by hand. If I can convince you to let it go, at the very least, have a bit of the good stuff.
she takes it, and then she kind of like holds her hand out. You like pass it into hand. She kind of like puts her hand on top of yours, and she kind of like holds it for a minute. Thank you. It's been a strange one. You know, I've travelled with plenty of people up and down this road, but you folks been so quick to help. It means a lot. Don't think I'll forget you folks anytime soon.
For what it's worth, I do hope that we will meet again.
Well, no doubt, if you're up in the Dales and this winter ever decides to bloody blow over, that's where I'll be heading, as will most of these folks here. So go and do us all a favour and clear this up, will you? She laughs.
I laugh along with her, just a slight chuckle, but I also hold her hand a bit.
Well, I'm not one for long goodbyes. I have to save all that for every time I leave Gillespie behind. So, get your things, and I wish you the best.
Thank you, Jenna. Same to you.
She kind of pats your hand and kind of like pulls her hand away, and tucks your backy into her pocket. She gives Letitia a little nod. And so
I nod back.
and she kind of settles back in. Fair day, fair nights.
Happy birthday, Nikki.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday,
Nikki!
Nikki.
Well then, I'm presuming boxes of rations are being collected. I mean, not necessarily. You could always come back from later. Awkward, like, oh, can we just leave them here for now? Just come get them later.
We're probably collecting.
Do you wish to do or say anything to Jerem, or are you just going to try and disappear like off in the night?
I don't know.
I don't want to take Jerem.
Say it out loud. No, nobody said it in character yet.
I don't want to take Jerem. To be fair, I had already said a couple of times, like, I don't think so. I think that's bad form.
But the last conversations were whether it was 6 or 5. Gris said 5, but it wasn't necessarily,
Canon.
Yeah.
I mean,
Probably someone should tell him no.
yes.
Send a letter if necessary. Messenger
You would-
pigeon.
We'll shout it from the sled as it goes past him.
That is as well as can be expected.
Yeah.
Regardless, I do want to do one more thing, and I'm turning 180 degrees over to Letitia. You. To your room.
What?
To your room.
Your room. Oh.
To your
Why?
room.
She doesn't even follow, you're just being sent to bed.
Yeah.
When you don't react fast enough, I'm dragging you with me.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Said there was a man in your room.
Ooh.
I am not.
Okay, I
saying
get you. I
just
just
go.
heard in your room. Yeah, I think so. An old guy.
So Eileen conveniently drags Letitia off, way past Jerem, leaving Corellios and Sir Gris.
Oh, do we fucking have to have this one? Just this guy. This guy, he just seems just like. I just get like. Alky and denial vibes from this guy. It's exhausting.
You can bypass if you don't want to speak to him.
Yeah. I would.
In character, I'm saying that you just don't speak to him then.
Yeah. I would steer to. I've told him what we are offering and what we are suggesting. He agreed to that. He then tried to wiggle a little bit out of it, but
No, he didn't.
well, no, it's in terms of he tried to renegotiate it. He's like, yeah, that sounds good. Or I could come with you. And I think we were quite, I don't know. We need to chat.
Right.
That being said, no, we need to drop off a coin for him to actually tend to the horse. Because clearly this guy hasn't got the money to fucking pay ahead and invoice it back afterwards. Yeah.
Well, do you want me to talk with the man?
Who did all the talking with Jenna?
Sir Elias. And somewhat Eileen.
Eileen mostly.
Okay, go on, Shirley. Knock yourself out. I will have pre-pouched 10 gold.
10 gold.
Throw,
Okay.
just throw money at it, and the problem will go away.
Well, no, for the bloody good care of the horse.
Hmm.
I mean, it's got to the room in the inn for 10 gold. They'll have to shit indoors.
Okay. So, in general, realistically, 10 gold.
Yeah,
Would.
what would...
So,
Like
as far as lifestyle,
for what he thinks is a fortnight's care, and let's say a little bit more beyond that, it's like I mean, I think like 5 gold is probably and a generous tip to him, isn't it?
oh yeah, for sure. So for like poor conditions, as far as lifestyle expenses go, it's 2 silver per day, and that is, so for poor, it describes it as a poor lifestyle means going without the comforts available in a stable community. Simple food and lodgings, threadbare clothing, and unpredictable conditions result in sufficient, though probably unpleasant experience. Your accommodations might be a room in a flop house or in a common room above a tavern. You benefit from some legal protections, but you still have to contend with violence, crime, and disease. So it's probably around that. But he already has lodgings and stuff, so he's only really paying for food. But it is obviously food for 3 people. So I think 10 gold or even 5 gold would be sufficient.
Princely.
It would be 5 gold. 5 gold would cover him about a month. I'd say him and his family about a month. 5 gold.
And I'll make it 7 gold.
Oh no.
But the other 2 gold though are in silvers to blow up the bag a bit.
Sure. Coppers, bits and stones. Okay. So Jerem, as you're kind of like floating down by the stables towards Blackfire, Jerem is there.
Easy.
And he has a smile on his face, but even as you're approaching and
Shaking our heads.
yeah, he just looks. I'll take it. I won't be going with you folks.
I just don't see a place for you there. We're going to push hard, and we will do battle. It's just would be a hindrance, I'm not going to lie. It would endanger all of us.
Then I'll stay here. And he kind of like takes a breath, and you can see that there is relief in his face.
I cannot promise anything, but maybe we would be able to somehow help the people you wanted to help on the other side. They are staying in which town, did you say?
Well, we're from Targos, which is to the west of Bryn Shander, but obviously all roads lead there. So, but if you could, if you could look in on Alice's parents, that would be. Again, he just looks relieved like that. That would be everything.
See what can be done. I know it's a feeble hope to send strangers to help someone you care for, but it's the most we can do in this situation. The most we can offer.
That no, that would be fantastic. They live up on the Strokes. It's Ona and Bereford. That's Alice's parents.
I did not catch those names. If you could type them up somewhere,
Sure.
possibly.
Is it would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Thank you.
I do believe that my companion has your payment. Leave him to Gris.
Yeah,
Get him.
I will hold out the pouch and give him a nod.
And he takes this pouch that you conjured out of. You just got all your coins in your fucking pockets now. And he takes the pouch and says, "Thank you. We'll take best care of them horses. Already know which ones it is. No problem there."
Do you say which one's plural?
He knows which one it. Well,
Oh,
same
I
which
was like,
it is.
so don't bullshit, there's only one.
He kind of like holds the coins and starts unfastening the leather. Tips them out onto his hand. Like starts counting through, and his eyes widen. And he takes half of them and then hands them back to you.
All the silvers.
You can't say he splits it in half. And he's like, "If you're heading to Targos and you can drop in on them, please give them this. I don't mind working for it, but they need it more than we do. We're getting by fine."
Very well. I'll take it back and give him another nod.
Thank you. All of you. From all of us. Thank you.
How is your daughter at the moment?
She's fine. What?
Blackfriars imp has gone missing. And you said that it had some sort of attachment to your daughter. This will...
Should I be worried?
No, merely you said. I wasn't sure if it was sneaking off here to play with or speak to her, perhaps, but Blackfriars seemed less than pleased it was missing, and the last interaction we had with it was it wanting to pass an apple along to Elspeth.
I'll ask her. I'll ask her if she's seen it.
Very good.
And he kind of has a little look around.
Oh,
Oh, who did we lose?
Testing.
Welcome back.
Not me, but are we all in?
Yes, we are.
yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear us, Juan?
Oh no, I didn't log off.
I'm guessing the fact that he's also muted, it was probably Aggie.
No, it wasn't.
Was it not? Because it wasn't me.
It's
Alex-
not me. It's
And
not
Alex
me.
was talking. So was it you, Mr. Dev?
Yes, it was me.
Oh,
That's what I'm hinting at.
It was me. I am the one I'm mad.
Oh no, fair.
So adding to your quest journal, head to Targos to give random people 2.5 gold. That quest's already grey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that Yeah. Course we will. Yeah.
We're delivering to go to some people at the other side of the death trap.
I am putting this note. I'm putting this note in bold.
We will forget.
It's an important one.
Don't worry, folks. I'm adding it to the quest log right now.
Add it because we will.
Oh, I no
forget.
longer have the option to create quests. We'll have to fix that later.
So now only the most important of the talks, I suppose, is ahead of us. Or do we have anything else that anyone else wants? Oh no, there is Eileen and Letitia.
Oh yes. Let's cut to Eileen and Letitia then. Whilst you are heading back towards the coach house. Eileen and Letitia. Blackfriar eyes you as you enter the
Does
premises.
he still look mad at me, or now that you have a full belly, he's more, forgiving?
Just kind of watches you. Doesn't say much.
Good day, Backfire. I say as
Hello.
we're passing him by. I'm still dragging Letitia after me.
Don't mind me. Not here. Passing by.
Where do you think you're heading? I believe our deal was that you would have the room until I managed to solve your little puzzle box, which I did. Those rooms have not been paid
That's
for.
true.
Vacating it. Or you didn't want us to vacate them?
He kind of watches you and then he just smiles. The rooms are yours for as long as you need. And he turns away, and you see that he's got a. It seems like he's got a quill and ink, and he's writing a note.
Okay.
Of course you are. Tell us the bell when we're out.
And you head up the stairs. Still no sight of Dong.
Oh, Dong. Will I find you someday? So, Eileen, why do you want us to go to the rooms? Is there something you want to tell me, or maybe show me?
I was hoping there was something that you could tell me. There was a stranger, once again, a stranger in your room last night. As vividly as you
Yes.
can, detail to me where you saw it. What did you see him do?
Yeah, don't worry about that. It's not as interesting as it seems. Leaving anyway. Just an just a lost old man, I think.
Just a lost old man, Letitia. My darling. He could have done something to you in the middle of the night. Have some self-preservation about you.
I mean, I'd like to see him try.
You know, it's just one lucky shot. One lucky shot is enough. Finding you asleep, that is enough. Finding you distracted is enough. Now,
I see what you
run me
mean.
through it. Run me through it.
Well, I woke up in the middle of the night. I had a headache, couldn't sleep, but everything was dark around it. My eyes weren't fully awake yet, and I just saw this old little guy, very nice, very uh polite and pleasant, and was asking questions. That's it. Nothing happened. He went his way. I went mine. We made a little deal. That's it.
Should I start becoming worried that you are sleepwalking at night?
I mean, what does sleepwalking mean?
As when you wake up and begin to move around in your sleep. You are not fully conscious, but your body nevertheless starts taking you into directions that you would not otherwise go. It has a lot to do with muscle memories.
Whoa! I don't know. I don't think it was that. Something like that. I think it was just maybe a dream. Maybe I wasn't fully awake. I was tired. I don't know. Let's not make a big deal out of it.
I look defeated. Nevertheless, I want to take a room through your room. A look through your room. Just to be sure that nothing has been taken. Speaking of
Hey,
which, have you gotten all your things with you?
I don't think so. I think I still have my bags in the room. Let's grab them.
Okay, grabbing it is. Says, if you're going to get your bags, I'm going to look around the room.
Okay.
But nevertheless, it's what you would do.
Are you trying to be subtle about it? Or are you...
Absolutely not.
Okay. Then I guess just roll me an investigation check. What are you looking for in particular?
Anything that would indicate break-ins, either by the window, if we have windows, by the door, furniture that's been moved, anything that would indicate a fraction or something of the nature.
Okay, cool. Roll me an investigation check, please. She rolled a nat critted. Kind of looking around, the nothing, no breaking through the windows. All the furniture seems to be in place. Nothing in the crates, and then kind of looking over the bed, you see a pool of blood in the bed. You vaguely remember Letitia having blood on her nose. It looks like she lost quite a bit of blood, not a substantial, just a little nothing nosebleed. There was quite a lot of blood there.
That is called coming of age.
Oh my.
I believe you.
Are you actually saying this?
Oh no. Well, come on.
I mean,
that's-
you could do. It's perfectly within the realm of trying to cover up, you know, your ongoing charade here. Do you know what? It's not even an ongoing charade, to be honest. You've just been kind of very, I guess, vaguely honest. To be honest, it's not like you've lied or anything. Just like not making a big deal out of it. It's like, yeah, it's fine. It's casual.
That's exactly. It's fine. Don't make a big deal out of it. That's the vibe I'm going for.
Vibe has come across. There you go, Eileen. What do you want to do? Ooh.
I am looking at you, Madam Tisha, and I'm saying, how did this blood appear here?
I don't know. I think it was there when I went to sleep, or maybe when I woke up. I don't know. I'm fine. I'm not hurt. Don't worry about me.
Does Bloodfriar strike you as the sort of person that is going to allow blood to pool in its establishment?
Sorry, what?
Does Blackfriar strike you as the sort of man that is going to let blood pool in his establishment? It has a reputation to maintain.
That's true.
Letitia
Well, I don't know. I
is
woke up like that.
man that
I
you
had a blow and a nosebleed, and yeah, I cleaned myself, and I'm fine. Maybe that was the reason of the headache. Maybe that was the nosebleed. I don't know.
I am looking at you for progressively more worried. Well,
Don't
sit on
worry
the bed.
about it. Let's just, you know what? Let's just have a cup of tea. Forget about this. I can't wait to leave Handlestone anyway. You don't like the energy here.
I couldn't agree with you more. Sit on the bed for a while, and I want to look you over. Properly this time. Do I have your permission to check if there's everything all right with you?
You can, of course.
Roll me a medicine check, and then we're going to call it.
Yeah, those mean nothing.
Give her a glance over. There's no remnant of any wounds or anything like that. You can't tell why she would necessarily have had a nosebleed. And without, really, really prodding up her nose, she otherwise seems fine. She seems like she's perked up a little bit since the morning. A bit of breakfast, bit of fresh air. Seems okay.
Alright. Lusatia, listen to me. If you feel anything wrong, again, come to me, or to Turielos, or to Sir Gris.
Chris,
In that order.
what would he do? Use his little lantern to burn me or something?
Think what you want of them. You're entitled to your opinion, but they would not abandon you in your hour of need.
I'm just joking. Of course, I will come to you if anything of this sort happen again.
Right. That's all I'm asking. Now, come on. Blackfire is probably going to charge us something like 20 gold already just for breathing in the sea.
I wouldn't be surprised. I
Okay.
wouldn't be surprised.
So, as the two of you walk downstairs, Sir Gris and Turilos are already waiting. Kind of like hovering around, kind of like giving Blackfriar a bit of space while he's writing whatever he's writing. The suit of armor appears to have been removed, no longer there. And he looks up at you and gestures at the table. And I guess en route to Blackfriar, Ket has joined Turelios and Sir Gris. Does anybody want to go and have a little bio break, grab a drink or anything, and then we will...
I go grab a drink.
Yes. I just need to go to the toilet real quick, and I'll be back.
That's fine. Everybody take 5.
4. Agree. Get back in 5.
Okey-dokey.
Dum.
Me back, so.
Back.
Welcome back.
Thank
We
you.
got 3.
2 more to go.
So do we try to finish this Hundelstone business quickly so we can leave
Oh, yes, please.
I think
and
we're almost.
start new adventures?
I think we're almost done.
Yeah, we just need to expedite this Blackfriar deal, and we need. Did we? Yeah, we need to talk with the bounty hunter.
I mean, he's with us now. We'll
Yeah,
talk
but he's
with-
waiting, right? He said he's waiting somewhere.
No, no. I think the last thing
Okay.
that Matt said was that he is with us, and we will talk now with the Blackfriar. All 5 of us.
Okay.
Unless you wish to show up as someone else.
No. I'm good. I never dropped my disguise. Actually, I should.
I mean,
think. Let's say I dropped it now.
it lasts only an hour, so I believe that our
Oh, really? Let me check.
expedition to
Let
the
me-
city might
let me
have
read it.
lasted longer.
Excuse me.
Zaggy, sorry if I was a bit too pushy, but you do need to figure out how it was sounding. A strange man comes into your Letitia's room in the middle of the night, and then
Yeah.
she says she's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. No big deal.
I don't know.
Man, I don't see the duration. I don't think it's 1 hour. Oh yeah, no, I see it now. I need to click on the spell and it's on the card. Yeah, 1 hour self. And it's not concentration, it seems. Okay. Now I know.
I don't want to think of Barbell.
Huh?
I don't want to think of Barbell.
Fine.
The statics came again.
Yeah. Mysterious.
But do you hear it now? Do you
No.
hear it now?
No.
And
It
Okay,
disappeared
I was
very
thinking it's
quickly.
me typing then.
Must be.
oh,
Hmm?
I was just letting out a out of all the things, I was not expecting typing.
I guess it just activates the microphone and you don't hear the typing itself. But it starts being noisy.
Possible. It's very interesting.
Still. Was there any variance to my volume, to how I sound?
No, you're
No,
good.
you sounded actually
Okay.
very good.
Good.
Oh, let's get some different
The-
music on. It's killing me.
The new setup works then.
Yep, new setup is right as rain. And welcome back, Harrison.
What announced my return? My hello of a groaning of my fucking chair.
Everything. The whole package.
It was a package deal.
Yeah.
So finally leaving
You-
Handelston.
I mean, won't. He's gonna have us get attacked by like bandits before we leave. Just say, motherfucker.
We should make a cover of Welcome to the Hotel California. Only I don't know how to make a Huddlestone rhyme.
A Hundle, California.
I am back.
Welcome back.
Are we all here now?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
With you, we are complete.
So, what time is everybody's hard cut off?
No hard cutoff.
Bowel
Yes,
dependent. That trip was all right.
Okay.
Letitia, that's your cue.
Are we back?
Not
Sorry,
yet,
I
no.
wasn't. I didn't know if you were back. Yep. What?
I am back. What is the hard cut off?
Oh, I still have 45 minutes to 1 hour before I start to complain because I really need to go to sleep. But if we're in the middle of something super interesting, of course I can push it. Like I have no really hard limit besides my
Please, spare me
roommate's
your
gonna go to
tedious
sleep.
life story.
Oh, I hate you. I'm just saying that I'm willing to make an effort if Alex has prepared something nice for us. You mother. This old guy. Hate you.
I mean, you keep saying that. I'm several years younger than the DM, yeah.
Really? Oh, I thought you were the same age.
No.
Still works.
Then you're not an old guy, you're an old boy then.
He is still a fucking moany old bastard though.
Yeah, happened since I was 10. Oh, that's weird.
Oh, what's this weird?
The quest I have set up. Oh, it's a new feature of Questlog. It now actually hovers off to the side if you want, World of Warcraft style.
Yeah, precious cargo.
Should I turn that off? Because I imagine some of our quests will be up for like 20 sessions.
I mean, it's probably. Does it just add like a big list of them?
Yeah, that's the only question. As another one, it'll appear underneath WoW style.
Okay. I mean, you could always just have it the little navigation card and just drag it to your bottom right, so it's always there if you need it. Up to you guys. I don't know. Do you guys think it's useful?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know.
I'm not saying no yet.
It would be useful if we were able to hide it. I mean, it would be a nice feature, but I guess we cannot individually choose to either hide it or display all of it. So, well, we'll see. For now,
my mouse is stuck. What the hell?
For now, it's not a problem at all. So,
Sure.
I think it can stay, and we'll see if we get used to it. We can discuss in between the sessions. At some
An
point.
inter-session roleplay.
Okay.
Oh, very humorous.
So, you know what? Give me another minute because I've nearly finished this sandwich. Might as well just.
You know what? To be fair, it isn't because of you. It's more because of the fact I'm streaming. I just fucking hoard a bowl of Cheerios stood in my kitchen because I thought Nikki doesn't want to sit here and watch me eating this like pig out of a fucking trough. So I'm stood there in my kitchen thinking of Nikki eating me Cheerios. Like, oh, fucking
Happy birthday, Nikki.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday number 3.
It's been
Nikki said before, when you were talking with Eileen, Nikki said, she typed out, God, I love how carefree Lutetia is. This is freeing. Ah, yes, I made a deal. There was a stranger and some blood. Haha, so what's for breakfast? Are you all hungry? Harrison _ stream banned Nikki from the chat.
Okay.
Well, hold on.
Nikki knows,
What
Nikki
was
knows
on
it's
the
good.
sandwich? What was on the sandwich?
ham,
Mhm.
tomato,
Mm-hmm.
some rocket,
Mm-hmm.
and some sliced red onion with a lot of pepper.
Nice. That's a good sandwich. No sauce.
No.
That cries out for just a little bit of light mayo for me. That.
I think mayo just ruins everything. I love a plain ham.
Really?
I love a ham salad sandwich without mayo on it. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I like
To be
mayo
fair,
with
I would
tuna.
put fucking garlic mayo on anything. I would. Fucking have some of that. Yeah.
Mayo is a definite if it's tuna. Tuna mayo. You can't have tuna on
Oh
it.
god, no! Tuna by yourself, you'll fucking die. Let me just have a nice sand sandwich.
Right then, guys. God, how many sessions have we played and we've still only got? Oh, see, this is our third quest we've got now. Precious cargo. Good job. I'll have to make a little card for it.
We have progressed minimally.
We're doing our best here.
I mean, we have offloaded our kill Frostbeard quest, so that's something.
Yes. Yeah, that's a success for Lutetia. I'm happy.
Wow. You know,
Not killing Frostbeard yet.
Happy if he dies.
halfway through one of the sessions, you might suddenly just get a load of XP because they've killed Frostbeard, and that was due to you. So you've successfully completed the quest.
No.
I was just
That's
speaking
cool.
to Ash then. Went into the kitchen and she's like, "Are you enjoying your game?" I went, "Yeah, it's good." I says, "Fuck me, I'm sick of talking now." I says, "All we've done is talk all the time." I says, "We've bottlenecked all these things." Went, "Oh yeah, we've got to speak to this person before we go. We've got to speak to this person before we go. Oh, we're going now, right? Now we need to speak to everybody." And I like it, and I like the RP, but I'm also very conscious that I'm sure we all want to get the fuck out of Wonderstone.
Yes. I can't wait to get out of here.
So only 8 more NPCs gatekeeping your exit. So.
But it's actually your fault, you know. You make interesting NPCs, so we want to interact with them.
Can't
You
wait
can
to
only
try.
blame yourself.
I know, I'm running out of, I think the problem is I'm running out of accents.
Well, no, we haven't met your Southern Belle yet, and we haven't met your Australian.
I do declare.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I wasn't sure.
They are waiting in ambush.
They are.
That's what we're leaving
along
the
with
city.
along with your when you order Tracer off Wish.com.
How dare you? How dare you? I was thinking about this before. I'm not sure that the Cajun accent I used for Blackfriar is what I used for the first session.
It's not. Well, I don't know how it's different, but at the start of this session, when he started speaking, I was a bit like, oh, okay.
Well, I know that he speaks.
You almost see at the start of the session, I thought it was a bit more Foghorn Leghorn.
Well, I say. Well, I know that he's speaking Cajun. Like. But then I was like, I think it might have drifted, and then I was like, did I do the same accent for Jarl Axel?
Well, you did.
Yes,
so
it's
this is
kind
why
of the
you
same.
need
It's kind of the
DM,
same.
the module voice actor. Which
I
in
know.
the NPC sheet has a little record button and a little play button that only you hear, so you can remember.
Yeah, I really do need it because I'm doing so many NPCs now. I really cannot keep track of it.
We're not coming back here, are we?
Well, yeah, we're going to get a few of them go, do you know what? Actually, I think we need to head back.
Well,
Actually,
I don't wanna-
Blackfriar is the end enemy, so...
no spoilers, but this campaign was co-wrote by David Harrison. So whilst you try to leave Hundlestone, all roads lead back to Hundlestone. So you head into the mountains, and then Hundlestone is on the other side of the
And
mountain.
then this old man really tries to suicide by cop attack you.
Oh, Handlestone. Oh, it has been.
Let's get this business over with.
So you folks are sat down with Blackfriar, and he does some last little etchings on his note, and then kind of like folds it up, puts it in his pocket. So, what have you come to decide? What have you come to decide? What have you come to decide?
he takes a swill and gargles.
We haven't changed our mind at any point, I believe. Unless Pat has anything to offer now.
No.
Before we leave, I have several
Oh, no.
tasks you
Let's
must
just
attend
leave,
to.
please.
How did we get here?
Let
There
us
you go.
leave.
Let's show the players it.
Well,
So,
as discussed,
canceling.
yes, canceling the sleds for our quarry, possibly setting up someone to observe them as they move if we do not manage to catch up to them in the mountains. And then possibly also allowing us to travel faster on this side of the mountains.
Well,
Those would be things that are of interest to us at the moment.
as you wish. And he goes quiet for a moment, closes his eyes, does a little gesture. Grant me your blessing. Send this message. By flight. Send it fast. By shadow. By day, by night. He's like kind of just muttering this little chant to himself. And then he goes quiet for a minute, closes his eyes. Then he opens. Found the man that is leading sleds that come to pick up your friends. Send him a message and turn them around. You want them to head back all the way to simply keep out of sight.
I'm going to turn to look at our experience trackers.
Was that plural?
There
Yes,
are no
this-
experience trackers. There is one.
No, experience trackers. So would that mean anybody that's not me?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Ket is kind of looking between everybody.
If they believe there is a delay, they may wait. If they have reason to believe no one is coming at all, they may press on.
I know you said press on, but I heard croissant, and I just want to laugh. That's it.
They may
I'm sorry.
they may decide to indulge in French pastries.
Well,
Perhaps better to make them think that there's been a delay and they will be picked up soon.
I don't exactly know how you expect me to about that. What is the difference between someone being there and someone being delayed? You wish for the sleds to reach them, but delay them when they are there, yes?
No, I wish for the sleds to not make it there.
Then what difference does it make to your friends as to whether the sleds are not coming or the sleds are delayed? They will wait around for as long as I imagine either way. One will not make them wait any longer than the other. If you understand.
Very well. Then yes, have them turn around and do not inform them, I guess. So if luck is on our side, they hang around for a small while feeling there's been a delay before they decide to set up on themselves.
And he nods. Very well. Send this message on the night, days. Send it by the Black Raven's call. He's touching his hand again. Clearly doing some sort of the sending spell as well, you know that he's doing. And he goes quiet for a moment. Opens his eyes, and he's kind of looking at you. But he's kind of like got this look that he's like looking through you. And he kind of like snaps back into the room. They understand what they've been told. They're not sure why, but that is not their business. Your friends will not receive any sleds. Now it's down to you. And he kind of like just does this little flourish with his hand, like passes them over the table, and you just hear a clink, 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 clink. And there are 6 small vials that are kind of now laid out on the table in front of you. And looking at them, they're just like a deep reddish purple, and a small vial, like no longer than a finger, and with a wooden stopper on it. And so I cannot make any and all push any faster, but these will allow you to keep pushing, even when you feel like you can't. You will reach a point when you are exhausted. This will help alleviate that. And he kind of like puts the 6 vials out in the middle of the table. Payment made in full with your... These are commonly known as a vial of vitality. And what will happen is when you drink this potion as an action, it removes a single level of exhaustion. So you could effectively try to skip a night's sleep, keep pushing, and then you drink the vial to not feel the effects of it. So whilst it's not going to make you any quicker, it's going to mean that you don't necessarily have to stop.
So just like exam season. In liquefied form.
Mhm. Right.
Of course, you don't necessarily have to take them.
Hmm.
Some of you may wish to try and push on without them. They should help you. Is that something you are interested in? And he kind of like hovers his hand
Oh
over them.
yes.
Wait,
That
what?
would be very. That would be very helpful.
What was his? What was his question?
If we
He's
want...
saying, yeah, he's asking if you do want them. You might be like, do you know what? Actually, no, not bothered about them.
No,
You don't
it
have
would seem if they're being offered freely, it would seem.
No,
foolish
that
to
you're
turn
paying
them
for
down.
them. You're paying for them with the armor.
Sure.
Oh.
That's what he said. The armor will be.
Yeah, but we don't have a means to. We have no means to remove a curse on the armor, and it seems a tremendous impediment to drag it along with us when time is of the essence. So, as much as I had my eye on it for the future, I suppose this is its purpose: to pay for these.
If you had an eye on it, you would have been graceful enough to try to carry it.
I was carrying the Baron.
The
if you
team.
remember
The
rightly.
team. I was carrying the fucking group.
Oh.
You only needed to hold out a little bit longer before Eileen got removed curse. Never mind.
My character wouldn't know that.
This is true.
And
Who
to be
said she
fair,
was
it
going
was
to take
getting-
it then?
It was getting very close to encumbrance. It's been concerned.
Very well. The deal is done. The day's still somewhat young. If you're trying to get ahead, then I would recommend heading off as soon as possible. And he kind of looks around and says, see, you have decided to settle with 5 people. Makes sense.
Yes.
Did you
Indeed.
say out loud about Jerem?
I don't think so. I don't think he was
don't-
mentioned by name.
Yeah, I don't think he was.
No, that's
No.
that's
Yeah.
a point. That feels like an oversight. 'Cause we wouldn't have tried to conceal it from him, and we'd even told Jerem we wanted to speak to him. We wanted to check with him beforehand. Yeah, I'm curious. I'll say yes. Yeah. Indeed, the deal is done. Jerem will be tending to our companion's horse in our absence, he was quite keen that we take him and his family. We were happy to at first before we realised the expedited nature of the journey we would need to make. But then, for a short while, he seemed like he wanted to press on himself with us. But I'm glad he has seen sense.
It is no matter. I must say that the little work that I was happy to give him, it was more to pass it on to the girl. I cannot see a child being so hard done by such harsh times that we are all facing.
Excuse.
I know what you said about the insights, but I would like to make an insight check, see if I believe him, based on the fact that he has created the situation.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, you know this. You know that he's created this situation.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So you know that he's talking shit.
Okay, yeah. I don't comment on it. We've got our situation. You know, everything's just been sorted. I'm not gonna. Run
You've
my
done
mouth.
that. Yeah. You're gonna fucking swallow it, bitch.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what you're gonna say. And he smirks. No, he doesn't.
That's what I thought.
Don't tempt him. Don't tempt him.
Mate, I am not the one prone to rash verbal ejaculations that burn our bridges.
I am not. No. Shut up.
Who do we contact on the other side if we were to get any information?
You would
Good
be
question, Turielos.
You would be best served heading to the Black Crow, which you can find in Bryn Shander. It is a tap house of fine repute.
I'm sure.
And who do we ask for once we're there?
You can ask for Anno D.
Anno D?
Anno D.
How's that spelled?
Spell ANNODEE.
Ugh. Okay.
That's in Bryn Shander.
That is in Bryn Shander at the Black Crow Tap House. NOD will be able to help you out with anything he has found. He is a most useful person to be on the best side of, knowing that you've been helping me here. I'm sure he will welcome you with open arms. But one can only hope you do not necessarily need to reach that far. Your business complete at the span.
Well, we all hope.
Don't worry, I know the barman.
What?
The new journal entry, new quest. Don't worry, I know the barman. I know the barman. I know the barman.
Yeah.
Never mind. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Travel into the Maldron River. This is just your fucking meme list now, then, isn't it? That's what it is.
I will remove Aurora one later.
Well, I feel like business has come to a close. I feel like we have everything squared away.
Would seem that way. Unless you can direct us to any place that sells any different tinctures than these. We do still have some coin to spend.
Don't tell them that. Oh, no. Well, the price of the potions. I misspoke. It is double there.
I have managed to collect a few potions from the caravans that have graced my my establishment. What is it you're after?
Anything else you would be willing to part with?
For
Well-
coin, I'd be willing to part with everything. Little point in keeping hold of it.
Yeah,
Cool.
even dong.
And
No, I'm not gonna say that. I don't want to carry trouble anymore.
well,
What is it you're looking for?
would you have anything that helps deal with cold? Possibly.
Quite the pricey little number, no doubt. One moment. He kind of like leans in his chair and he takes out this little journal.
The healing potions as well.
Do you say? Do you want healing potions as well?
Well, I would mention healing potions, yeah, if he's willing to listen for more than just one type of potions that we're
Sure.
interested in.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I would mention that any type of thing that would help us with the wounds.
Okay.
Would be also interested in. Sure.
So,
If anyone else has additional ideas, it's a good moment to voice them.
No, I think we're good.
Pretty much same ideas.
he starts
These
having a
seemed
little
worthwhile.
flick through it. He's like, well, I do seem to have a potion of cold resistance, as it would happen. Have you ever purchased one of these before? He smiles slightly. This is not your typical potion that just comes around. They are somewhat uncommon.
Somewhat.
It is
Ooh,
wondrous.
I happen to know why he's being so coy right now. What's with the potions?
It would be
He
400.
wants gold.
It would be 400 gold pieces for a single potion, and that is the market rate.
Hmm.
Oh, we're fine.
I have but one. It will grant you resistance to cold and the elements for 1 hour.
I don't think it's something I personally would consider a worthwhile investment. But my companions may disagree.
Looks to the companions.
I mean, having one at our disposal could mean life or death for one of us.
I'm just putting the gold in front of him. Consider one.
Ooh, nice. Okay. You will take and start kind of
Damn.
quickly counting through it. He kind of pushes it to one side. Very well. If you can deduct that from your inventory, please. Ellie?
Have?
Good stuff. And he's having a little look through his items. Just check something. What's this? There we go. Potions of healing I have.
Mm.
I have, let's roll, I'm going to say +1. RD4 +1.
Mm.
I have 3. They will take you 75 piece each.
Not
Mm.
4.
I will take
Oh,
one.
sorry, yeah, 4. Yeah, 4.
I will buy one.
Very well.
So
So-
that's 75, right? I will take 2. I will take 2, so I can give it someone else. Let me look at my gold.
I will take 2 as well.
So
Very well.
that's
150 gold
150. 150. Yeah.
off both of you, please.
Any discounts for bulk buying? Being
Yeah. So do I add that in consumables or in loot? I think it's a consumable, right?
Consumable, yeah. Because once it's gone, it's gone.
What,
you have a
hold on,
thing
what
for
is this
it?
potion of healing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you drag it in from SRD items, it should have all the information.
Yeah,
on happy
I will
roll and-
drag them on.
Yeah.
I will add them on to you guys in a minute. I was going to do it once I've yeah, because obviously he's not. I mean, you are going to get them. He's not going to scam
I
you.
mean, I'll just add 2 to my current one.
Okay, cool. I will drop.
No need to drag anything for me.
Okay, cool. Bear with me. So, Tisha wants potion of healing. There you go. And you have charges. Why does it give charges? That's weird.
In case you want to just say, oh yeah, you've got 5, I'll give you one item with 5 charges instead of you having to have 5 different items in your inventory, and then it can use up a charge for each one. So when it's got 0 charge, yeah, it's basically so. I know that's like what a lot of people do with rations. They make a ration item, go, what, you've got 40? Okay, I'm going to give it 40 charges and no recharge, and each day you just tick one off. It's
Fair
what
enough.
I would be doing if I were doing Selenka Pass again, or Berez. Or...
But I mean, it's still the same as. That's just the same as quantity, though. So you can still just have 40. Or
There is something, it's something, oh, I can't remember what it is, but there's something to do with how it affected Twice Bitten, where they explained it to me, and it was like, oh yeah, of course, that makes sense. There's some sort of interaction which gets a bit fucky when it's just numbers of the item for usable items. I'll
Okay.
scroll back through chat another time.
Okay. Well,
Let's go.
what have you done, Torellis? Have you done his charges, or have you just changed the quantity?
I have changed the quantity.
Yeah,
you
I'm
want
going
to
to change.
do
I'm going to
it?
change. No, I'm going to change it. I'm going to keep it as quantity for now. So there will be some items where there's
Yeah,
like a big. Yeah.
I'll probably split them. Like I'll probably give one to Aline. We'll see. So we can do it in between, I suppose.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Just
Right.
between
How do you want
them.
the vials of vitality? How do you want to split them? Or do you just want to put them all on one person for now? What do you want to do?
Yeah, we'll see if someone's... Remind me, if we were to press on, do we all automatically get it, or is it a case of rolling for exhaustion? So could we go, you're not looking good, drink one of these, or do we all need to go, right, we're all going to get exhausted now, let's drink? If you get what I mean. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, I mean, so there is obviously ways to avoid exhaustion. You don't automatically get it, but it all depends on a variety of factors. I think deliberately trying to push through and travel hard and not stop for a set amount of time, then it will be rolls. But yeah, so you wouldn't necessarily just get exhaustion straight away, unless there are other mitigating factors. Then it'd be like you're gonna be fucked at the end of this day. So this will become a bigger thing on the other side.
Right.
For beauty, I think I should take at least one of those.
So well, I'll drag one on for all of you, so you've all got one. Tisha has one. Actually, can I just drag it straight? Do I have to drag it into your character sheets, or can I drag it onto your token?
Character sheet.
Boo.
Boo.
So Gris has 1. Terelios has 1. And then Eileen has 1. Now there are another 2. Do you want to hold them both, or do you want Ket to have 1? And there's no reason he necessarily has to hold them.
There's decisiveness.
I know.
Eileen, do you want to be the potion holder?
Yep, she is. Okay, cool. There we go. That was easy.
Yeah.
So you have 3 vials of vitality, which does make sense for you to have.
Get him to the healer, yeah.
Oh, have you added the potion of cold resistance? Good girl. She's all over it. Okay.
Cool.
Cool. Second, let me just... I've got so much shit open at the moment now.
I know the feeling.
What the hell? Why do I now have a vial of vit? Oh, okay. It's the
What?
0.
What?
No,
What does this
it's just-
potion do?
It does have the same icon as potion of healing, and I was like, did they double for some reason?
Okay. Okay. And then... This is... and from my own personal stock, if you are interested, I do have a potion of poison as well. This looks and smells by all means like a potion of healing, but
Very familiar.
I is not.
I already have 2 of these on my person, remember?
We all have some of them now.
They're 130 pieces, if you would like.
How much are you buying them for?
He looks at her. I'll give you 75.
I'll keep that in mind on our way back.
Very well. He's having a little flick through his book. I'm not sure of much else that is of interest to you folks. This is me randomly trying to find stuff. Orb of Dragon kind. Oh, cool. That's only 500,000 gold pieces. My favorite. I think these are all a little bit
All right.
highball. There you go. And he just closes his book. Not too much magical artifacts or that inkling that comes through here. Mostly trade goods. I'm sure you don't need much of that.
That is quite alright.
Then if business is concluded, I still have an imp to find.
I'm not gonna say anything.
You should make your way over to the wagon. Oh, the wagoneers. Tell them that
Was that a grunting character, or was that you?
that was me moving my chair.
I was like, what the hell? The
have been-
imp is wearing him like bloody the cockroach in Edgar.
They have been informed that you will be looking to travel soon. So, whenever you are ready.
Suppose we are as ready as we will be.
Indeed. I wish you the best of luck. Though, he kind of gives a glance around. I dare say you won't need too much of it. You seem like quite the capable motley crew.
I will offer my hand for him to kiss. And I say, John Axel. No, I won't be so heavy-handed. Our benefactor will certainly hear of how tremendously accommodating you were in protecting his interests.
gives you a nod and shakes your hand. Much obliged.
And I will cast Chill Touch. No.
Scorch.
Yeah.
No, that's worse.
I've never done this as a player, so I don't think you've ever really done this as a DM, as a player, except maybe once. So correct me if I'm wrong. Once we're away, is it accurate for me to think that we can do the sip test on these potions to make sure they are what they say they are without using them up, or and it doesn't actually affect you if it's bad, does it? You just know that it isn't what.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to sip test every potion he just gave us.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's during a short rest. You can check the...
Yeah, that would make sense.
Not walking along the street.
Just like identifying magic items, then.
Yeah, but
I suppose. Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, but even with identifying magic items, you don't get to do it without a spell. But potions you can.
Cool.
You won't necessarily, depending on how rare the potion is. I might just turn around and say, "Oh, do you know what? You don't know."
You don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Do my lips feel warmer?
Yeah, but that's not a problem. That is raw.
Okay.
Okay. And so.
Then yeah, come the next wagon break, I'll be like, shots.
And so the five of you get up. You all bow humbly. And go out backwards, groveling on knees, and leave the coach house. Before you step out into the streets, the look over your shoulder for what may be the last time that you see this in
fucking hopefully, thanks for DM.
A few weeks. I'm sure you'll be back.
Oh,
The job will be done and you won't have to go to 10 towns. It'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll go back to deal with Frostbeard in time.
Yeah.
Before the expedition goes.
Welcome to the Hotel California.
And you head out into the snow. Well prepared, well equipped. I will say that the gear and stuff that you have is kind of like stashed in like a cloakroom offloading area for your wagon to drive by and pick it up. You don't have to hoist all your stuff down the fucking street like a mental case. And you make your way to the Wagoneers, the Caravaneer Guild, which is on the northern part of town. You approached from the east, from Tuscan. The Wagoneers Guild, you are directed, takes you to the north. And arriving there, it is somewhat similar in style to the coach house, a little bit smaller. Seems a little bit more industrial, not meant for housing people and, with a tavern and inn attached to it or anything like that. It is very much in the mind of like when you go to your local car garage, it's just like all a bit rough and a bit dirty and, proper industry types. And heading inside, there is kind of like a waiting area, when people are, sitting around like a taxi rank thing where the driver's just kind of like sat there waiting around. A few people kind of like sat in these chairs. There's a fire burning low on one side, and then there's just a desk to the left, and behind it you see this fellow, this dashing chap. I originally actually show him.
Well, not fucking ugly. Oh my god, everyone in this campaign is so fucking ugly.
Not all of them. They're all ugly in Hundlestone. Ooh, mate.
It's this bloody website you're using. It just makes people just all look like the after photo of like, here's someone before they started doing meth.
Yeah,
Mate,
mate.
2 years
I have
later.
deliberately turned the smiles down on everybody. Other hand breed, you get
Why has he got the hair of like a 60-year-old and the face of a 17-year-old? This kid's had a hard life.
you're saying this, but so
No.
because it's just
also a
like grey and
feminine
bald.
face.
Guys, this was our first clue that we're supposed to mosey along. This was our greeting card. Like all signs say, the more you stay here, the more your life is going to grow and flash before your eyes.
Yeah, see.
I'm not sure.
There's a psychic vampire here.
Children pirates from Laskan still remain in my memory.
So let's choose appropriate music for in this place. I say appropriate. Let's just choose this random because I don't know whether it's gonna be good or not. What I'm like.
Let's go. Anything to take us away from here.
Okay. Have I got two tunes playing here?
You have no tunes playing according to this. Fire burning, as if we're getting to a campfire tonight.
No, fire burning's from in here. I had that burning since the castle. I forgot to turn it off.
I didn't know I want now.
Is this
I
music
didn't
playing?
notice.
Have you all got the music like really low?
Yeah, very, very. No, it's loud on mine, but it's very low.
I hear it.
Who can hear it?
Yes.
I can
I can hear it. I can.
Okay. And you go in, and this gentleman looks over. Ah, hello. I've been expecting you. Please come in. I am Hana.
Anna.
Are you perchance from? No. Just shut up.
Where are your papers?
Hello, Mr. Vincent Price.
That's a bingo. I am the Tiefling Hunter.
Das ist keine Bubi.
We just want to go.
Of course. I believe that all of the payment has been made with Blackfriar. So
Yes.
there seems to be some confusion. When this was initially discussed, we thought that there were going to be 4 people traveling, and it appears that there are 5.
This is going to be a problem.
Well, sort of yes and no, but mostly yes. You see, when we send out the wagons, we like to ensure that they come back. Are you going to laugh at my German accent the entire time?
I mean, it is funny though.
It is good. I'm just waiting for like the. I feel I must apologize for the conduct of my nation during the war.
Do not mention the war. I'm sorry, I was momentarily distracted, but I am back in the room. When we make the journey towards the spine, we like to make sure that the wagons and the horses come back, and so we have the driver, and typically we would have an additional 2 garter as well with the wagon. The capacity is 6 passengers and the driver. So 3 people and 4 passengers is typically what we would be accounting for. With 5, then that means that there is 1 less guard, and then it means that the return journey when you are dropped off, that there is only 2 people to protect the wagon and the horses. So you see my predicament. An additional person also means typically additional cargo, supplies. And so,
Is there a solution that you are hoping to gain from us, or should we return to Blackfriar and say that there needs to be additional time or alternative arrangements made?
well, the problem is that we do have the larger wagon, which can carry more people, but it is quite difficult to drive this weather. That is the bigger problems that we have here.
Can you risk one run with one less person?
I mean, it's one less person to defend the wagon. It is quite
Yes.
an intrepid journey up towards the spine.
But can you
And
do it?
when you start speaking, he kind of like looks at you and he's like, "Ha, a Triton." I'm sorry, I've taken aback there. It's been some time since I have seen one of your kind. Not very common around these parts, that is for sure. You normally do not travel this far inland, no?
No, we do not.
It is our pleasure to see you here. I've only ever met one of the Triton in my life. That just tells you how rare it is to see one. I'm very surprised. But no, the wagons.
Mhm.
It and then you just hear.
Could anything be done to alleviate the problem?
Well, I mean, money might be able to help, perhaps. And he's kind of like stroking his chin, and he's just got this little calculating little look on his face, like it's just all for show that he's kind of like stroking his beard. Danny, worry, I'll do it. Yes, I'm sure there's something that. I said I'll do it. Come on, man. And you kind of look around, and there's this other guy kind of like sat at this table, smiling.
I thought this person was schizo for a moment there. I thought he was just suddenly coming out of a tick in an entire... Well, for half a second, I thought the whole German thing had been a ruse and he dropped it. And then I thought, oh no, he's fucking crazy.
I mean, to be fair, you have been talking to horses before.
Yeah, it was. I was caught the old buckaroo.
I know exactly what you're going to say, Duck, but no, you cannot do the job. He's like, me, man, stop it. You know it's Duke. Stop calling me Duck, man. You know it's Duke. Like, well, when you signed the papers with the guild, you wrote Duck, and I am a stickler for the rules, and so be Duck, regardless of how many times you call yourself Duke. The Awe man. I'm a driver, not a writer. And this guy, I've been identified. Go on.
I feel a certain connection with this guy called Duck by his
Jeez. Well met,
Indeed.
Duke.
companions.
Nice to meet you. So you're looking at that spine. Pet. Looking a good that spine then, like. Danny, listen to Hannah. He'll be trying to charge you double what Blackfriar did. I think you'll find that this is guild business, Duke. It's like, call me Duke. He only calls me Duke when he's angry. Like, look, Herner man, you ain't got any people to take him up there, and you know it. You can't chance taking the big one. You'll never get it back, man. No matter how much they're paying you. You know, I can make it. Herner looks kind of momentarily embarrassed and caught out. Well, I would be lying if I did not say that, as much as I do not like his manner at times. A little uncouth. However, yes. Duck. Probably would be your best bet to get up to the spine. Oui, man. No problem. Don't even need no guards, man. Make it there and back on my own. It's like, well, it's up to you, Duke. Your wagon, your horses. And Herner kind of like turns away, seeing that he's just going to lose this one anyway. And Duke kind of like pats the chair in front of him. He's at a table. There's only 2 chairs. And he pats the chair in front of him. Come on, sit down, like.
So, how does this work then? We had
Place
an
yourself
arrangement
in the
with
chair and it'll bear your weight.
we had an arrangement with Blackfriar, and
Don't you worry
What
about
is-
that. That's just paperwork, man. It's like the way the guilds work in these days. It's, we're a little bit far out. These are uncertain times. So
would,
the payment will still be made. Don't you worry about that.
would I
but
have any grasp on how the situation has proceeded? Would it be in any way perceptible if they are doing a bit and trying to?
Oh, you're trying to see if there's a bit of a con going on.
Yeah,
Roll me an insight check.
sure. What's going on here?
I would say that the interaction between Duke and Herner, it seems to be quite genuine.
Mhm.
Like there does seem to be this kind of like irritation from Hearn about this guy, but he's obviously familiar with him enough. They're obviously on good enough terms that he's allowed to stick around, and it does just come across as more as if Duke hadn't have spoke up, then Herner was just going to try and charge additional for taking out the big rig. So it seems to be on the level as far as you can tell.
Alright.
Have any of you sat down? Or you're just sitting there? As he's
Of a chair for all of us?
No, there's only one across. I mean, there's chairs around the area, but there's
Yeah.
only one across from his table. And he's just still patting it. He's not. Just longing.
Okay, I'll sit.
I will follow.
You'll sit
Oh,
on
I
Eileen's
mean-
feet.
Yeah,
Sitting on my lap.
I will sit on her lap. Yeah. No, just kidding. No.
Oh,
So, when you're looking to head off, like,
as soon as possible.
How fast can you move?
pretty fast. Fastest wagon in the West.
I appreciate a bit of honesty.
Well,
And how far can you start moving up north?
I mean, I can get to the spine, I'm good, but not a miracle worker. Ain't nothing going through them, man. I mean, I'm surprised we're even willing to try. It's pretty hairy. I've only been up there a couple of times since all this started going on with the weather, like.
we'll appreciate the transport to however far you are willing to go.
Of course, man. Of course. Anyway, you're probably better with me anyway. See, I'm an independent. I'm not really technically part of the guild, but nah. And he kind of leans in and speaks a bit quiet. He's like, trust after these as far as I could. I'd sooner throw you off the wagon and leave you in a ditch somewhere. Take you all the way. Take your money still, though.
You are a very wise man, my friend.
That's what happens when you're on the road. Meet a lot of people. So, I have got one. I don't want to say demand. But,
Request.
Well, request sounds a little bit like it's optional, really. Well, I suppose it is. But I'd like, for the journey. There's a room up front for 2, and he looks at Letitia. Like, wouldn't mind a little bit of, female company up the front, like having a chat. Long time on the road, innit? constantly surrounded by this lot. And he looks around, it's just like a load of drab, predominantly men. And then, Letitia, you in particular, see a few men, and after your faux pas earlier in the day, you're not sure where one or two of them might actually be women as well. Very hard to tell. Their stubble on their chins is a little bit shorter than some of the men.
I'm just going to put my hand on my rapier and look at him in defiance. Like, I'd like to see you try it, boyo.
What? Just to have... Oh.
You're feisty. I like it.
Motherfucker.
I think you got yourself a deal, sir.
I'm going on Twitter right now.
What, to cancel this guy?
Yeah. To cancel the guy. This is toxic.
Just wants to chat, man. That's all.
Hashtag fuck duck.
I'm going to challenge him to a friendly fight, and if I win, he don't look at me for the rest of the travel. Like, not even one glance.
And he holds his hands up and says, "Nah, man. Not into fighting ladies, Even if you were to beat me up,
that's what I thought.
I wouldn't want to take a chance of landing a fist on that beautiful face." He kind of like gives you a smile and a little wink. It's like
I'm going to like spit on the floor and like get as far as away from him that I can. Just go near Gris or something.
And then he looks at Turiel. Definitely feisty, that one.
I was waiting for you will do, pet.
I like fish too.
I mean, he doesn't look like one.
He looks like a duck. Well, it's going to take a few days, so I figure I've got time to work on her,
Mm-hmm.
And he smiles, and
I lean
not
towards him slightly. I believe she'll warm to you.
Ah, right,
It's
you are.
just a cold exterior,
Oh, totally respectable, She's obviously a lady. She can't just make it easy, can she? Got to work for it.
Of course.
And he kind of looks at you and looks at Letitia and gives another smile and a wink. And he's not. I mean, he might be coming across as creepy. He seems harmless, but it's obviously not attention that is particularly wanted right now.
Either way, I'm rooting for you.
I look at Gris and I like just not very obviously, but I kick him on the foot.
Thrown to the fucking wolves. Well then, I suppose to start with, somebody else can ride up front with me. If that's more to your liking. And he looks to Alicia.
I push Gris to go forward.
You fucking don't. Your hands gain no purchase against my broad frame.
Just a wall.
Yeah. A fourth wall.
I do enjoy seeing the road we travel.
Right you are. No problem. He kind of looks says, been a while since we've had one of you lots.
What was that?
Really?
What was that noise at the end?
I don't know. I don't know who did that. It weren't me.
Was that like the meta ask about your backstory bird going up?
Oh, I didn't do it. Somebody else did it. Somebody went. Brrr.
No, it was you both times, wasn't it?
No, the first time it wasn't. It was me the second time, mimicking what somebody else had done.
Let's go.
Right then. Let's go. Presume your stuff's over at the coach house.
It is. I'm pretty sure that we cleared up the rooms.
Well, yeah, but all your rations and shit were stored away for it. It's picked up. Okay, so Duke gets up and gets this heavy coat that was on the back of his chair and throws it on
Are you sure about no guard?
Don't you worry about that, man. You're not the first people I've taken up there, are you? I can look after me own.
Possibly
Don't you
not.
worry.
Is that a money thing?
What do you mean, like?
Would you have to somehow repay Hannah for the guard, or would you have to share with the guard?
Oh, I mean, of course they'd have to go split however many ways with how many people there, but, I can still make my way back.
If you feel that way. Let's
Gives a
go
nod.
then.
And he's heading out, pulling on these thick leather gloves, wool-lined leather gloves. Not just leather driving gloves like a real creep. He's just got some leather
Fingerless.
fingerless. Puts his shades on.
The full thing.
And out.
His wagon's got alloys on.
A big spoiler on the back.
I'd find like that typical blue Subaru, but the style of a wagon.
As he sets off his the candles on the front of like really high fucking vis, like blinding lights. His candle. Okay, so as you get out, it is a very non-bespoke wagon. It looks a little bit reinforced at the side, like these higher sides than the kind of like typical cowboy canvas covered one. A little bit offer a little bit more cover and defense, it would seem. And by the looks of it, there's like chunks and cuts and holes and stuff in the side of it where it looks like these have been utilized from time to time, where it seems to have had some signs of aggression on them. And kind of like leaves you to it while he's saddling up these two really big fucking draft mares. Really dark chestnut brown, and gets them all saddled up. Gets on. Right, you are. You four get in. You're up here with me, man. And everybody aboard.
Mm-hmm.
Drive past the coach house, picking up all your rations and inventory.
I'm hoping yes.
And the wheel of the wagon falls off, and you can't leave. Oh, stop it!
Go and fetch a wheel from a wheel shop.
Can you go and mending? We need mending.
We're mending it. We're mending it.
Then
We
out
we
into
shall
the.
walk barefoot if needs be.
We will carry this fucking wagon. And so out, the snow's still been coming. It's been coming down for days. Real heavy snow. Head up to and through the northern gate, out onto the road of 10 Trail. Oh yeah, let's move the pin.
Yeah.
Finally.
Moving.
It's moved that far.
Oh, that's
It's going
not-
to move one dot each session.
Yes, stuff is going to happen in between.
How long will it take us to get to Ravencock?
Ravencock. I did see Ravencock right at the beginning. I laughed off mic very early on.
I was looking at all the others like, nothing else I can change.
I'm thinking as we head off into the blustery snows and leave Hundlestone behind us. Let me play. Duke at the front, smiling to himself. Seems like quite a happy fellow. I think that is probably as good a place as any to call it for this week.
Excellent. Thank you very much, everybody.
We did it, guys. We did it.
Thank
We got
you.
out of Hundlestone.
Finally.
Guys,
Achievement unlocked. Leave Hundlestone.
Yeah, it was just an invisible barrier that you couldn't get through the north gate until you completed certain quests. Now you can get through. You can go to the next zone now.
We are free.
Guys, I just want to warn you for next week. So I know that I will be traveling at the end of the week. So either Thursday or Friday. I don't know which one yet. But if you guys want to be safe, we can try to play on Wednesday if any of you are free on Wednesday. Because I'm sure to be here on Wednesday.
I have no problem with that.
Let me have
I
a
can do
look.
it.
I mean, we can discuss it in chat. I just wanted to address it now before I forget. We discuss in chat later if you guys are okay with that.
You coming back home, sweet home, Aggie?
Yes, I'm going back to Paris at the end of the week.
Are you looking forward to it, or are you a bit ugh?
Oh no, yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait to go back.
Are you being sarcastic?
No. I really want to go.
Get back into your own space.
Yes.
Yeah. Being around people is overrated after a while.
Yeah.
Okay, well, everybody will check their schedules and see if we can switch to Wednesday, which would be ideal. I don't think weekend sessions are possible at all for us, are they?
No.
So we've basically got Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays sometimes. I don't actually know which days are completely off the cards other than Tuesday and the weekends. But anyway, we'll see if folks can make Wednesday. If not, then we'll take a chance on the Thursday, I guess.
Okay.
I think we'll have to, yeah.
Yeah. Looking at it, I think the 12th will be a no-go for me because that's the only night that week that I'll be in a position to have Sharon staying. So I don't want to then be like, haha, soz, D&D.
I mean, it's only Sharon.
The Tony Aggie.
Yes.
No, so the 12th, the 12th, not great for me.
Okay.
I can have a chat with her because if it turns out she has plans and she can't that day anyway, then yeah. But if she's free and expecting to be here, no.
I cannot anyway on
fair
the
enough.
Wednesday.
Oh, okay. I mean, there is a chance I can be here on Thursday. I'll see, but it's not sure.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's not sure.
That's fine. Well,
We'll find you a cube, don't worry.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hey, don't let the guy rape me if I'm not here. I'm watching you. Don't give.
No, we don't do that.
Gris just thinks, I will take the first watch, and then just looks away.
My God.
Fucking enabler.
Jesus Christ.
No.
That went a bit too
Well-
far, a bit too quick.
Should I end the stream? Should I end the stream a minute ago?
It wasn't
Yeah,
over.
you should have ended it a bit.
We always say our goodbyes, and then I click end stream before people start making comments along those lines.
Well,
Now everybody knows my life and that I'm going to Paris and everything. That's good.
They're all coming
on
for you.
that positive note,
So
happy
the
birthday, Nikki, and
Hiya.
goodbye.
Happy birthday, Nikki, and all the burglars out there. Remember that the Loot Tavern's apartment is empty at the moment in Paris.
You can go steal some pins.
Some pins.
That's all I have in there. Like, nothing of value is there.
Pins and a squeaky chair. That's all you've got.
Yep.
Right then. Thanks everybody for watching. See
you guys.
next week.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye all.
Oh, we should.